Hi, this is Steve Walton from Tropic Heating and PatioHeat.com. Here we have a residential application. So I have a floor plan, and this is an elevation view. I have the floor view as well, and a different elevation as well. So let's go ahead and see what we can do for this application. Now, I haven't built the whole entire structure back here, but we're going to concentrate on this upper floor. Now, this customer stated that they are in some very cold climates, and it gets down to the 20-degree level. 20 degrees is awfully hard to heat up properly in a comfortable setting, let's say outdoors. So if you're acclimated to that type of temperature, the heating system might work well at that level, but in most cases, most people, I would have to say, would require a lot of heat, more than I would normally put in an application in order to feel that warmth. So that being said, we'll go ahead and look at a couple of items that we can do for extending the season. So, and again, I'm not going to get into the individual's abilities to appreciate the heat, but everyone is different, so we'll leave it at that. So I have roughly 18.5 by 12 feet depth, and that's 8.5 foot to the ceiling. It's a flat ceiling, and you can see that the construction is in this orientation here. So I am placing a unit in that fashion so that there's some alternatives as far as the mounting, and we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so my first choice would be something of this nature. These are 6,000 watt units. Now I'm using a 6,000 watt unit because of the area and the amount of heat that would be required for this type of application. They did state that they would like to have the whole entire space heated, and being that it gets very cold, I'm trying to place as many units as I could to offset that temperature. Now, 6,000 watt units are awfully hot, and at this elevation, so you definitely want to have a control system. 6,000 watts units require, each control requires a single module in there, and relay rather, and so the control panel does get a little pricey on something like that, so it's something to consider. Now you can see that I've mounted it in this orientation so that physically, if you wanted to, and I'm assuming that the joists are running in this direction here, so that physically, if you wish to, move the unit up into the ceiling, that's a possibility. So that's why I have it in this orientation. You'd have to get a flush mount kit in order to do something like that, but I would imagine the joists are going this direction so that sorry about that, so that that's the why I have this orientation. Now you could change the orientation to this direction here, so that would go parallel with this line, and possibly place 3 units in, but you're not going to get this full coverage of this 12 feet because of the height of the unit when it's mounted on the surface like this. So let me just bring this back real quick and go ahead and look at any obstacles. We don't have any obstacles at this point as far as placing the units up on the ceiling. This is a sliding door, these are windows, and I'm not sure about the actual usage. They did talk about having a barbecue and a dining and a little reclining area. So you may remove a unit or change the orientation based on that information that comes up down the road. All right, so that would be this plan. Here's the footprint of heat, and as you can see, the 6,000 watt unit puts out a throw of about 12 feet. However, because of the height, It's reducing its footprint on the surface of the floor, and so that's why I'm placing as many units as I am here. So that should help you make your decision on that. So let's go ahead, and again, there's no issue. We have 6 inches of clearance. We have more than 18 inches of clearance over here. Essentially, this is 8 foot center to center, and then I have a center here, and then 3 and 3 feet on each side of that center, so that this is 6 foot center from each other. And again, that ray, you can see, heats up that area real well. All right. So that would be one plan. Another plan would be just taking 2 units, 2 units in the center. And again, there's no issue with clearances, but you can see here that we're not hitting any of the edges. And I would imagine with all of the items they are talking about placing out here, that you'd probably utilize this space. And if you're utilizing this space for a couch or chair or something like that, you're not going to receive that heat at all. So something to consider. And then the final plan would be something like a gas unit. Now, a gas unit requires a lot more clearance, and they did state that the area is windy at times, so gas units are affected by wind quite a bit, and I wouldn't recommend placing a gas unit in a environment where there's a lot of wind. Gas units have, and I'm going to show you here, gas units have these ceramic plates, and the gas has to wick out of the ceramic plate about 1/8 of an inch in order to heat up the ceramic itself. And if it's blown around, it's not going to heat up that ceramic, and if that ceramic doesn't get heated, then of course you don't receive any heat. And because it's gas, there is a much more clearance issue, so we have to have a 14-inch clearance even when we place it straight down to the ground. If we placed it at an angle, let's say, from the edge going inwards, then we have to increase that to another 4 inches. So that heater is obviously hanging way too far down into the space there. So that's why I'm not choosing that, but here's a footprint of their heat. And you'd have to use several units in order to warm that space up. All right, well, I appreciate you watching this video. I hope this has helped you. If it has, please give me a thumbs up. That helps us with the YouTube algorithms, and we don't advertise, so that just helps us out. And I appreciate your watching. Again, our email is support@patioheat.com. Please send us an email with your request, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. We look forward to answering those questions as well. Thank you, and have a great day.